So thanks for stopping by the Mountain State Conference on Disabilities vendor page. We'll scroll through. If you're here, I'll ask you to introduce yourself. If you're not available, we'll just scroll your services and resources and we'll move on. We ran out of time yesterday with West Virginia Association of Rehabilitation Facilities. They had to run to another meeting. I know that you guys here with us today? No, okay. Well, if they come in, we'll jump back to them. They hold a lot of the state contracts across the state for janitorial. So you may see in the rest stops across the state. So they work with a lot of state agencies, CRPs, and other agencies serving individuals with disabilities to fill those contracts. They pay great wages. So I'm excited that they were able to participate. Check them out if you're not familiar, and we'll come back to them if we have those folks stop in. You guys can see my screen, right? All right, thanks, Steve. And so they shared this neat infographic, and we'll take a minute to look over that if we have them join us as well. But just, you know, there's a lot of sense in numbers. And so these things are impactful to see how we're increasing employment for individuals with disabilities and what that bottom dollar looks like and what the impact is for us in our own homes and our communities. So love things like that. And those are the participating agencies, the CRPs that help to fill those state contracts. So good paying, hardworking jobs. And we heard from West Virginia Division of Rehabilitation Services yesterday, and we've got Angela Walker here. Did you want to introduce yourself and share with us?
Sure. I turned my video on. Can you guys see me?
Yes, you are okay. Upside down.
I'm upside down. Oh, gee. Okay, I've had problems with my video all morning, so let me just stop the video. Okay, so the Division of Rehabilitation Services is a state agency that assists individuals with disabilities in finding employment and maintaining employment. And we work with all different age groups beginning at age 14, and there is no end date on the other end of that. We've worked with people who are way past what we would consider retirement age, but if they are still interested in working and they have a disability, then we can still work with them. And we offer just numerous services internally that we can provide. There is a counselor assigned to each client that works very individually with that person. And then we also can pay for outside services that we contract with other providers. So there's just numerous things that we offer. And again, the main focus is employment for individuals with disabilities. If you have any questions or want to know more about our agency, feel free to check us out on Facebook or go to our website, wvdrs.org. Also for students with disabilities who are transitioning out of high school, we have a specific website just geared toward transition. It's pathwayswv.org, and you can find, again, all of our information on those sites. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, the Pathways website is a wealth of information. If you've never been there, you may spend the rest of the day hanging out there if you pop over to that website. And you heard Angela mention that they work with agencies across the state, and those are those same agencies that we just mentioned with the rehabilitation on the last slide, where they highlighted some of those community rehabilitation programs across the state that help fill the state contract positions. So a lot of interconnection across our agencies that you hear as we highlight these different groups and how they might commingle together across the state. So thank you. Again, if you're here as an agency, drop your name and your agency in the chat for me so that I can know to jump to your page. Otherwise, I'm just going to scroll through and share our agencies with our time here this morning. On the website, you'll find this high visual image and the plain text image for each of our vendors. And as you can see, each of them are clickable. You can interact, email the contact that is listed there, or view any of those documents. DRS shared some really neat videos. They've got a promotional, kind of a commercial they shared there, and a couple of success stories on Vimeo. So those are neat to check out. ARC of Harrison County. If you're in the room, speak up. Otherwise, we'll just focus on you for a moment. Of course, they're in Clarksburg, across the Harrison County area, and their mission is to provide pre-vocational and other job placement services like job matching and placement and follow along. And so they're regional, see them at a lot of job fairs in the local area. And so if you're in that area, you might check out the Arc of Harrison County.
Hey, Mandy.
Yes. Hey,
Hey,
Mariah. All right.
Hey.
Nice to see you.
Hi,
I
how
thought
are
I
you?
saw your name, but I can't see the names once I share my screen. So thank you for speaking up. Please tell us a little more about yourselves.
So I'm Mariah Jenkins. I'm the Vocational Programs Director for the Arc of Harrison County. We have two different departments. One is in-home care for individuals with disabilities. And then the vocational department, which I run, we assist all different types of individuals who have disabilities in finding employment. We not only help them successfully find a job, we also help them do on-the-job training. We teach them life skills to get them prepared for real life events and life as an employee. We do permit tutoring, and we can help with work exploration for some who have never worked before. We just kind of do a plethora of things, and it's pretty cool program. We've been around since 1986, and we've just continued to keep on rolling with it and have done pretty well.
Fantastic. Yeah, you find what the need is in the community, and it sounds like you guys are meeting that. So
Yeah, we do the best that we can. We've got a pretty tiny department. There's only two of us. So we do what we do what we do, and so far we've been pretty successful.
that's got to count for something, Mariah. And your referrals, do they mostly come, are they walk-ins? Do they come from Division of Rehab Services? Where are your clients coming from?
Well, it's kind of both. I get
Okay.
phone calls for individuals who need assistance, and normally I refer them over to Division of Rehab Services because they can also provide assistance too. And then Division of Rehab sends us referrals. And we've got a really good working relationship with Division of Rehab. And we normally work in Clarksburg, but we also provide services in Doddridge County, Taylor, Marion, and Lewis counties.
Oh, that's
So
great to
we're
know.
not
Yeah, those pockets get the short stick sometimes.
Yeah, we don't normally we work in just Harrison, but we can work in other counties. We just don't really receive referrals for other counties.
Got it. Well, now the word is out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Thank you
Great.
so much,
Thank you.
Mariah. Then we've got some brochures there. If you visit the website, you can go ahead and interact with those and learn a little bit more about what they offer. Disability Rights of West Virginia, you may have just attended a session about employment accommodations with Shauna White, or you may have heard from Gina Desmond. I think there's another opportunity this afternoon to learn about voting rights, important topic, timely too. I don't think I saw Gina. Shout if you're here. Otherwise, Disability Rights of West Virginia, know who your protection and advocacy folks are. They will fight for you. And they made a variety of materials available on their vendor page. So please visit. We've got just some flyers and publications, and then some more nitty gritty of programs that might apply to your specific situation. Maybe not now in life, but maybe later. So a lot of resources that you may need to put in your back pocket to use later. But remember that these folks are here to support you in a variety of ways. And check out Gina, I think they're at 2 o'clock this afternoon, a session on voting. Encompass Health, we heard from them a little bit yesterday. I don't know that I had anyone in the group from there this morning. They're here in northern central West Virginia area, focused a lot on care for after stroke, people that are working on that occupational and physical rehabilitation. They have a really nice video if you visit the vendor page that kind of outlines their services a little better and shows the care and compassion that they put into the services that they provide. Now we have an ARC from the other side of the state, Mid-Ohio Valley, over in the Parkersburg area. And Steve pointed out to us yesterday, we had a neat connection there. We've got the the People First. We've got a lot of initiatives. The People First group, they had a meeting. And so that's kind of a meeting of the minds down there, that bottom picture. And We have the brochure that they made available there. I don't think we have anyone from the Arkansas Valley. Interrupt me if I'm wrong. They do a lot of neat stuff. They have a thrift store. They do a lot of events for self-advocacy and involving individuals with disabilities, just kind of social events. They have a cafe, a lot of cool stuff going on over there. So I encourage you to visit your ARC of Mid-Ohio Valley. And they've been, they just celebrated 65 years. So
Mandy,
longevity. Yes, sir.
Mandy, I see Jody just joined us from Disability Rights. If
Well, thank
wanted
you.
anything else.
All right. See, I can only see so many names at once. So thanks for keeping track. So we did just, I'm going to back up real quick and see if we have anything to add. We just spoke about disability rights, and I just wanted to see, Jody, if you had anything that you wanted to add to that conversation. I just kind of highlighted that we heard from Shauna. Gina's going to be around this afternoon, and that these are people to go to when we're having a difficult time. We put you on the spot there. We'll keep going.
Oh,
Get me
sorry
over
about-
there. Hi.
sorry, I finally got to unmute.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Oh gosh.
You're okay. I just jumped out of the other session because it went late and it was so
Oh
good. and I
wow.
just
All
jumped
right.
out, jumped over here. I'm not on
Glad
video.
we're recording.
I will put in a plug for something we're working on right now.
Great.
We are collecting, and Gina may have mentioned this yesterday. I missed her presentation, but we are collecting input for our fiscal year 2023, which begins October 1st, priorities and objectives. That is what Disability Rights of West Virginia is going to concentrate on and work on in the new year. So go to our website, go to our Facebook page. There are links to get to that information. We will be on June 1st. We'll be at the Disability Action Center in Fairmont for a little presentation and, what do we call it, a listening session for gathering information for our priorities and objectives.
Neat. All right. So June 1st, get together at the DAC, visit the website, look for things we'd like you to focus on. And then there's an opportunity to contribute once you're at the website?
Yes, you can call us, you can fax us, you can do an email through our website. You can, there's a Survey Monkey poll on our website as well,
Great.
on the and on our Facebook page.
I like the poll option. That makes it super easy. So think about the objectives, think about the conversations we've had these last 2 days and in other conferences you've participated in. And what do you think? Where do we think we need the most support? So great. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
And people ask for input. So give the input. Appreciate that, Jody. All right, I'm gonna bounce back forward. Steve, thanks for alerting me there. We were at Encompass Health? No, we were at ARC of Mid-Ohio Valley. So I just talked about their thrift shop, a lot of neat stuff going on there. I don't think we have anyone, so I'm gonna keep flipping slides. So it sounds like both of our sessions may have gone over. So we'll try to sneak in any agencies that join us as we watch the clock tick here. I don't wanna make you guys late for your next session. Pace Enterprises, we heard from them yesterday. They're based up here in Morgantown, but they've been spreading a lot across the state. Do we have anyone from Pace here with us this morning? You're hard pressed to drive down the highway and not see a Pace truck. So they're out there, they're doing good stuff. They've got a lot of different vocational services that they offer. And part of that is looking for community-based positions. They are a community rehabilitation program as well through DRS. But they do a lot of on-site training in food service, janitorial, secure document shredding. And so they've been really expanding across the state. Check them out, see what they're up to, a lot of opportunities. They have a nice recruitment video on their YouTube page that you can get to from their vendor page on the website. PPL, Public Partnerships. Anyone in the space? These folks, they focus on self-directed care. There's a neat video that talks about opportunities for caring for your own loved ones at home and being able to be compensated for that. And just, if you were part of Shauna's I'm sorry, the first presentation this morning, Tracy's about giving people, everyone a voice and having the opportunity to use augmentative communication for people that have maybe never been able to express themselves before. So that really comes in line with Public Partnership's mission for self-directed care and why it's important and choosing who provides your care and what that care looks like. Because as Tracy told us this morning, you're just giving someone a voice. That may be the first opportunity they've had to do that. So check out PPL and their mission to allow people to make their own decisions. They've got a lot of neat documents on why self-directed care is important and why it's something that you should consider. So they really lay it out nicely. I encourage you to check out their documents and look at what their mission is all about. And they've got a lot of social media to interact with as well, and a lot of videos available on their YouTube. And again, it's all in the numbers. So I love infographics like this. It shows us what the needs are out there and how people are addressing those needs and how we can do better. SW Resources, I know we had Jason Bailey with us yesterday. They're popping off in Parkersburg. They got a lot going on. They do some printing services. They do employment placement in warehouse, janitorial, graphics, print shop, mailroom. So a lot of opportunities and opportunities for growth for individuals as well. So he did say if we were in the Parkersburg area to please stop by, ask him for a tour. They're very proud of what they're doing there. Hopefully you guys got to check out Roxanne yesterday and hear a lot more about the West Virginia ABLE program. This is really focused on savings as you know, as young people with disabilities age, their parents are aging, and we're looking for ways to secure our futures. And so Roxanne is very enthusiastic about the special needs trusts and the West Virginia ABLE and the stable accounts that allow individuals to have that financial security because we're all aging and we want to make sure that we have that security and the supports that we need as that occurs. As usual, great resources from Roxanne. She also always has neat merchandise like pens and can openers, things like that. So reach out to Roxanne and see how she might enhance your services or your life. Oh, I think we've almost gotten to the end of our list. Steve, if you're still here with us, we've made it to your slide and the West Virginia Developmental Disabilities Council. I know you have a couple of teammates here with you today, if you'd like to introduce them.
Hey, thanks, Mandy. Yeah, a couple of folks here, Christy Black and Katie Arbaugh, are two planner and advocacy specialists. So we're full force. That's the entire team here at DD Council these days. So there you have it. Gee, there's just a lot on there. We appreciate anybody that want to look at that and even contact us. We have Facebook is probably our most active way of communicating with people these days, at least in the broad sense. And, you know, always, I guess I'm supposed to say like us. I didn't know we had to beg people to like us, but anyhow, there you go. We do have a lot of information to share. We do some things. Not going to take a lot of time, but I will run through a list of things that we do. We are focused largely on public policy and things that affect people with developmental disabilities and their families. And we do a lot of advocacy on what we consider, I hate to use the words, but best practices, at least you know, more contemporary and whatever kind of policies that and practices that support people to have the most fulfilling lives they can in the communities of their choice and be fully included. And that's a very few words to say a whole lot. And so anyhow, more on that. We do quite a bit of training. And yes, we've been affected dramatically by the pandemic in terms of the kind of training. We like to do face-to-face training and a lot of other activities, but we've been curtailed. We still have done a lot of Zoom training. So there's a variety of ways there. We do grant funding for demonstrations of new ways of doing things. It doesn't have to be uniquely new ways. It might be something that's going on somewhere else that we need to adapt and look at in West Virginia. And so we're in some ways kind of a experimental research laboratory. We learn from things that don't work well, where the systems maybe need affected in order for people to get the best things out of community services. We also push non-formal services and supports. We have community building as one of our 3 goal areas. So we do quite a bit around helping people live normative, valued lives, if you will, in the community, and using the least amount of support and services necessary. We do planning. Our name used to be Planning Council. We do a 5-year state plan, much like Disability Rights does their priorities and objectives every year. We do an update to that plan. It's 5-year comprehensive state plan, and it involves a whole lot. We're happy to have our new staff person, Katie, come on. She will be our planner, responsible for that and evaluation of systems and a whole lot more. We do a lot of public education. I had a couple physical show and tells yesterday. One was with a collaboration with Disability Rights of West Virginia, and that's our always popular families advocacy guide to special education. Lots of good tips as well as references to the law and regulations and so forth. People don't get tired of that. And also a project that I happened to showcase yesterday was On the Outside, which is was our celebration as a DD Council of the closure of the last state institution and the institutions before it for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We do quite a bit of information referral, phone calls come in. We help problem solve some. We don't provide any direct services. We don't do personal advocacy per se. We don't go to people's IEPs as an example, but we do a lot of other things that people find valuable. And yeah, we do have some obligations. We are obliged to support cross disability advocacy initiatives, and that's we fund the Fair Shake Network, people may be familiar with, and had really originated it in the first place. That continues on, as well as People First that you highlighted with the ARC of Mid-Ohio Valley, because they're the host agency there that gets our grant to do that project statewide. That's it.
Very nice, Steve. Yes, and I like the description. I'm going to think of your grant funding as an innovation hub moving forward. So I appreciated that. Thank you. And of course, the Center for Excellence in Disabilities, also one of the partners here hosting the conference. And please visit our website. We've got a variety of programs statewide funded by the AUCD, and find those across the country as well. And I have to apologize. We only have a few minutes left, but Catherine, I know you just got the link and I am so sorry. And I know a lot of our sessions went over. Some people are coming in late, so we're rolling with the punches. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to share with us for just a moment.
Great, thank you. And I'm so sorry, I had technical problems yesterday, so hopefully today you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Good deal. So my name is Catherine Randall. I'm with PPL Public Partnerships. Just very briefly, and obviously any of you are welcome to reach out to me. We are contracted through the Bureau of Medical Services to provide the self-directed programs in the Medicaid waivers. So we do the aged and disabled waiver, the IDD waiver, as well as the traumatic brain injury waiver. We work to support a little over 4,200 people throughout the state of West Virginia. We have resource consulting services, and similar to a case manager, they support the participants on the program. We currently have about 63 resource consultants that support all 55 counties. So I'm trying, I want to be respectful of your time because I think we ended 11:45, right?
Well, I'm recording this and we're going to make it available on the website. So please share with us, and that's just fine.
No problem. So a little bit about our programs again. So we work with the waiver services. What we do is provide support to people who choose to self-direct. So traditional services are supported through agency types of services, and with PPL, people choose to hire whomever they choose, friend, family member, someone that they know that can provide that service in their home to them. So if they require a legal representative or any type of program representative, that's determined by a combination of either their medical circumstances. Sometimes the state makes that determination, and sometimes PPL makes that determination after we get to know them and see what circumstances they have, what supports they have with them. So we try to do what we can do to make sure that if people choose to self-direct their services, that they're able to make that selection. Doesn't always work, just like anything else, but we work very closely with BMS as well as a lot of the traditional agencies to support people in transition if that's a better service model for them. So a couple of the things that we do in the waiver program, in the IDD program, people can choose to utilize their budget to get goods and services. They have to be approved by their case manager that's written as a part of their IPP, their individualized service plan. And we work with the vendor that they select to get items to help just safety, independence, those types of things that we want to help promote in their home. We also support some other programs like environmental accessibility. That's actually expanding to the aged and disabled and traumatic brain injuries here starting July 1st. So trying to think what else, if there's, I'm happy to take any questions. I don't know. I know a lot of people probably know a little bit about our services, but I'm happy to provide any other details.
Well, I think this is a really fitting topic to end on, because we've talked this morning about everybody having a voice. We've talked about protection and advocacy. And so I think this is a really nice conversation to finish our vendor booth with, because you guys are allowing people to advocate. And, I was talking up self-directed care. If you go back and watch, I talked about your materials a little bit. And I think that the self-directed care really falls in line with the conversations that we've been having these last 2 days, and giving people those voices to have the care that they want, to access the activities and services that they want. So I think, Steve, maybe you want to touch on that as well. But yeah, I think this was a really great topic to end on.
Yeah, I really appreciate that too, Benny. I think, Catherine, it's great to hear again about PPL. The people on the call right now, I see Angie from the CD and Carissa Davis, the Olmsted coordinator, as well as 2 staff people from the DD Council, Katie and Christy. So we're pretty much in the know about a lot of things. And I think Christy probably, she may be on another call at the same time, has a lot more direct experience with PPL. Certainly we have from before PPL was here, and trying to get self-directed. It's still a work in progress. The whole business about self-directed isn't here yet. And the DD Council, one of its systems advocacy issues is continually working to try to get that expanded, the self-directed aspect. And we have been incrementally, it's been moving in the right direction, but it's frankly, it's never really fulfilled the vision that was originally there for people to have more control about what's being done and how things are being spent. So that's something hopeful. I like, it's particularly, Catherine, you were talking about the expansion a bit into the AD waiver, which is fantastic. And Carissa, and I could talk about Carissa better than me with the Olmsted Council about the needs of people, particularly as they age, in terms of accessibility and other adaptive things that we've advocated for years. So some of these things do come about. It takes a long time, unfortunately, sometimes, but it was, I'm with you, Mandy. I think it was a great way to wrap up. I really appreciate it myself.
I couldn't have planned that better.
Okay, great.
Without further ado, I'll remind you all that PPL has a variety of materials on the vendor website specific to self-directed home care, and really gives you an idea of, well, why is this something we should focus on and why is it important? And so I was really glad to hear, Catherine, that you guys serve all 55 counties. I didn't particularly know that. So I will shout about that a little more. And I hope all of you that have tuned in and maybe watching this video later have had an opportunity to learn more about our vendors. And again, you can visit the MSCD website hosted on the Center for Excellence in Disabilities site right now, where you'll be able to interact with these vendor pages and watch these videos from our lunchtime sessions. So without further ado, if you're joining an 11:45 session, I apologize, you are late, and I appreciate you guys joining us, and look for these recordings on the website shortly.